Anyway, I'm excited to have you here, and this is just question and answers to assist you in your goal setting and following through, so that you can really get your goals. Because we talk about goals, we dream, we do all sorts of things, but
Mm-hmm.
it's that little difference that makes the difference. So there are some little specific things that make the whole difference, which I found in I've been in this field for a long time already. And I noticed that with the same process, which is the SMART goals, some people get their goals sometimes. The same people sometimes don't get their goals. Some people don't get their goals, and the same people who don't get their goals, sometimes they get their goals. So it's kind of almost like a toss a coin, right? And I go, no, 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 no. What's the difference? What makes the difference between those goals that happen, and not only that happen, but they happen the way you want them, and those that don't? So I've been, as I said, I've been doing this for a very long time now. I can say I started my NLP career back in '97. So ooh, that's a long time, right? It's just going to be 30 years. Oh my God, I don't even want to think. But I noticed that the approach, the tiny little differences, which may seem non-important for non-trained people, are actually the ones that really make the difference. See, I mean, lots of people set SMART goals, and this is not novelty. This is not something that NLP has brought about. This is something that happens in businesses for a very long time, because the acronym SMART, if you followed along with the previous session that we did, if you followed along, you may know, you have noticed that we're using the same SMART acronym, which is what? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and also timed, the issue of time. But this is no big news. But in the way we insert use goals in the future timeline. So first of all, using the future timeline, and then the tiny little details that are particular to the timeline therapy process of creating your future, those make the difference between, just guesswork, or maybe, I'll pray, maybe I'll keep my fingers crossed, maybe they'll happen, maybe, no. We take the maybes out, you see? So for instance, Mara, because you've been talking, what was your goal? Did you set a goal? Hi, Eve, how are you? Good to see you. Myra, can you hear me? Or maybe her microphone dropped.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Did you set your goals for the year? Like, the New Year resolution goals and this?
Yes, I did.
Give me an example of one of your goals.
Okay. So, one of my goals is, like I mentioned earlier, that, I want to, start my NLP, like, kind of, like formally, like starting my coaching, my NLP coaching, starting to take clients in, and also open it for a business consultancy. So, and because I'm in
Perfect.
USA, I just want to just be, extra, cautious about it, and just kind of set up my LLC and just, like do it properly and, kind of open
Right.
that way. So, and, like, because it is going to be online for now, and I won't be renting an office. Once my clientele is built, then I can have an office. So I have to work on my social media, kind of post on it regularly, because, like if you don't post regularly, the algorithm doesn't work and all that. So yeah, so that's one of my goals.
Okay, but you gave me, may I use you as an example? Because I'm sure everybody can learn from this. Is that
Sure,
okay?
yeah. Yeah.
Because this is a very, very nice goal. But the first condition of a SMART goals is specific.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree.
So, and what you described is actually a very, very big picture
Mm-hmm.
goal that involves more than one goal. You with me?
Yes,
Because
yeah.
it, so you said, I have to set up my LLC, I have to set up my social media, I have to post, I
Mm-hmm.
have to. These are all individual goals, my friend.
Yes.
Yeah, because the goal has to be specific. Give me an example of a specific goal. Yeah, give me an example. A specific goals that you have.
So a specific goal will be that by February 15, 2025, I want to, like make 10 um, calls to prospective clients.
Okay, good, 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 good. That's specific. That's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Measurable it is because you measure you have 10 clients, so you know this. Is it achievable? Sure. I can see how
Yeah.
you can do this. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Of course. Is it timed? Yes. I have just one single thing, and here is where language is very important because language determine how we make our internal pictures, our internal visualization, if you wish, about the results of our goals and how we get there. Yeah. So you said I want. Now, this is a little again a little trick and very little known secret. If you put the word want in your future timeline, you are going to end up producing more wanting.
Mm-hmm.
Make sense?
Okay. Right.
So take the word want out of there and put simply I have, and even in past tense, also verb tense counts very much. I
Mm-hmm.
have completed successfully 10 calls to prospective clients.
Okay. All right.
Like, notice the difference?
Yes. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You're right.
Yep.
Because once I've accomplished that, I'll be like, oh, I want like 20. I want this, I want this. And wants are unlimited.
You got it.
So, mm-hmm.
You got it. The word want shouldn't be present in how you formulate linguistically your goal. In fact, and that's true for all of you, by the way, and thank you for joining us. I'm just talking to Mara right now because she was chatting with us, but this rule applies for everybody. So when cut out the word wanting, don't put the word I want in your goal. In fact, as if you imagine a timeline like this, yeah? And let's say over here is your past and over there is your future. So you set the goal in your future timeline. Imagine you are already there and you use past tense. It is now February 15th, 2025, and I have successfully completed. So now it's already past tense. But at the unconscious level, because we're not talking about, I know consciously, rationally, logically, we all get it. But we're not talking here about how we think logically. Because if we would be just about logic, we are all going to run around, achieve our goals all the time. But it's the unconscious mind that scans, see, like a radar like this, through a system that we have in our bodies, and scans for similarities. Similarities to what? To what we have inserted in the timeline. So the way you formulate in words the goal that you insert in your future timeline determine what the unconscious mind scans for in terms of similarities. By the way, there is no mistake. There is no magic, there is no nothing. In our bodies, at the unconscious level, we have this system called reticular activating system. That's very complicated, you don't need to know this. But it's simply a system that searches in your environment like a radar, scanning for similarities. Okay? And similarities to what you consciously decided that you want. But the way you say it in words is vitally important, because those words that we use determine what we hold in terms of our images, what we imagine inside our heads, our pictures that we make about the future, and the unconscious mind acts on those. So you see, these are the connections. I hope this makes sense to you, because aside from the fact that the way you organize time, it's important. Aside from the fact that the goal has to be inserted correctly and gone through the SMART acronym. Aside from all of that, the way we formulate it, you may say, but what's the big deal between this word and that word? It's a majorly big deal. Now, let me let you into another secret, which you may or may not know. Probably you don't. The words that we use, let's take a word that's very commonly used, love. Yeah, it's not a rare word. Everybody uses it and everybody understands the word love. The unconscious mind doesn't know the letters L-O-V-E. At the unconscious level, that equals 0. Yes, that makes lots of sense to our conscious minds. Absolutely, because that's how it's reason, logic, and that's how we function. At the unconscious level, what does the unconscious mind do? Because of the word love, as we pronounce it, as we think of it, in unconsciously, we create pictures inside our heads and feelings that represent the word love. One word. Of course, connected to that is our experience of love in life. Some people felt very much love. Some people didn't feel love especially when they were children, or maybe they had a relationship that didn't work out quite the way they wanted it, and then they felt like they weren't loved. Some people experienced like they were totally loved. So all of that makes a difference. If we put it all together, that's why we do timeline therapy, you see? That's why we do timeline therapy, to let go of all the unresolved stuff. Stuff being a technical term here. What stuff? Negative emotions and limiting beliefs and decisions around a certain subjects. Because same example, the word love. If I insert in the future timeline a goal connected to the word love, any goal that it's connected to the word love, or wanting love, or anything like this, wanting to be loved, and I have in the past experiences where I had negative emotions, and maybe I formed beliefs and decisions about not being loved, or not being able to experience love, or who knows, people have so much stuff in their heads. Unconsciously, listen my friends, unconsciously we insert in the future timeline all that past experience as well. It's an unconscious process. It's almost like it inserts it as energy. The energy of the negative emotions, the energy of the limiting beliefs and the limiting decisions. So this is another very important thing. Is that to say that people who haven't done timeline therapy cannot achieve their goals? No, that's not what I'm saying. Of course they have. Of course they have. But the chances of getting exactly what you want, the way you want it, if you are precise, specific, all the SMART conditions, and then one more thing, the last step has to be part of the picture that we insert in the timeline. This is another major difference. Because in general, in goal setting, people do visualization. Sure, I'm not saying that's bad. No, absolutely not. But in terms of the probability of getting what you want, visualization itself, it's hit or miss. But if you have this, see, this is another little piece that's very important. If you have inserted in your timeline the picture of the last step, now how would you find the last step? It's very simple. You ask yourself the question, what's the last thing that has to happen so I know I got my goal exactly the way I want it? And then you come with an answer, and then there is a picture associated with them. Now, it could be something only visual, it could be something that people say to you, it could be something that you say to yourself. You have this great feeling of accomplishment and success and happiness and joy. Yes, I got it. It could be all of the above. But that's the thing that has to go in the timeline to really make a difference. Because visualization alone is not, it's not specific enough. There you go. The first thing, right? So the question is now, if you were to do it now, pick one of your goals. Just pick one of your goals that you set. Just quickly, pick one. You can do this later on for all the rest. Right? What's the last thing that has to happen so you know you got your goal? Just do it now. Just close your eyes for a moment. What's the last thing that when that happens, you know you got a goal and you want it exactly the way you want it? Got it? Good. Now, where is that? Where is that picture in your mind's eye? Where is it? Is it far away from you? Is it close? Is it to the right? Is it to the left? In your mind's eye. Because here is another thing. If the goal's far away, as you close your eyes, if your goal appears as a picture somewhere far away from you, well, it's symbolically, it is distant. And at the unconscious level, the unconscious mind says, oh, it's so far away from me. And that could be far away in terms of time, but it could be far away in terms of your unconscious mind believing it can get it. The unconscious mind is very specific, and you need to be very clear. It's the role of our conscious minds. Linguistically, so the words, the pictures. So if the goal is far away, by the way, yeah, bring it closer to you. Bring it closer to you. So it is in your reach. If it's far away, it's not in your reach, isn't it? Metaphorically and otherwise. Think of it. It's just not the way it works. So, everybody gets excited at the beginning of the year. You know this. We all get excited. We go, okay, clean slate. We begin a new year. This is my resolution. I'm going to do A, B, C, D, right? But people don't know exactly how to ask these very questions that I gave you examples right now. And they're not difficult. I mean, they're not hard. But simply we're not taught this kind of stuff. We're not taught. And one more important thing, my friends, and probably if you don't know by now, know it now. Fear and anxiety act as incredible blockages. Because fear and anxiety make us freeze, and not as temperature, but freeze in terms of we're not doing anything. Yusuf, you have a question, my friend. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Adriana. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. Thank you very much for your time. I'm very happy that
Thank
I'm
you very much
hearing
for
to you.
participating. Good to see you, have you here. Go ahead.
Uh, Adriana, my question was that if this big goal has to be cut down to small steps, then for a single goal, for example, I have a goal to reach 120K, $120,000 with my agency in revenue. So if I want to go to in small steps, then I will be having like maybe 100 goals, which is fine because I understand that sometimes goals you have to. But how can I manage so I can stay focused on 100 goals that I'm working on?
That's a very, very good question. It's a very good question. So you have a goal. Here's how I see it, okay? So you have a goal for the year.
Yeah.
That's your big year goal. And I would approach it like as you do kind of a business plan. I
Mm-hmm.
would work backwards. So it's like this. At the end of the year, and by the way, put the word net. After all the taxes and everything, net. Okay,
Net.
that's very important. All right. So this is at the end of the year. So it's now, you put the date in December, and I have made this profit net and the figure. Okay.
Yes.
Good. Now, where should you be then half a year? Well, at least 60, right?
Yes.
And here is another secret, my friend. When you set a goal, it's don't cap it. Say at least 120K.
Okay. Okay.
Because what if you can do more? And the unconscious mind goes, no, we're not going to do more because the goal is just for this much. So
I
keep
love.
it open at the upper level, and then you can cap it and say at least this. Good. Back to, so where are you in half a year? Then when are you in 3 months? Where are you? Where are you every month? And then where are you every week? Yes, in order to achieve that goal, you break it down, but you don't set all 100 goals at once.
Mm-hmm.
Set only what you need, and in terms of how you work, because that's how you keep yourself on track. That's how you keep yourself. I believe on the pre-recorded thing that I've done a couple 3 weeks ago, I talked about how much an airplane is on track. They don't fly a straight line. That they have to navigate, but they get exactly where they want to go. So do we, because when we set goals, we encounter obstacles. If there weren't any obstacles, we would already have our goals. But we have to navigate. And how do we know that we're on track? Then we chunk it down, we break it down to weekly goals. Okay, what do I need to make this week? If I make this, I'll get to where I want to be in a month. If this is my target and I reach it in a month, this is where I'm going to be in 3 months, 6 months, and so on and so forth until the end of the year. Makes sense? That's how would I approach it.
Yes. So the goal should be all these small breakdowns, or
You should have weekly goals.
mhm.
And if you have a small team of people you work with or anything like this, even if you are working on your own, you should have daily goals.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's like a very simple process. You wake up in the morning and go, okay, what do I want to achieve today? And get used to formulate your goals with the correct language. So it's a habit. It becomes very quickly. You don't have to think, oh, what words am I using now? Am I correct? Because if you do it
Mm-hmm.
several times, you get used to it. It's
Mm-hmm.
like at least it's almost like in the morning you give a suggestion to your unconscious mind. Okay, today we achieve A, B, C, D. Done.
Okay.
It takes a few minutes, my friends. My friend, it doesn't take very long, but it keeps you on track, because that's where many people get lost.
Mm-hmm.
They don't stay on track. They set a big goal. It seems, oh, I can do it. It's 1 year time. I have plenty of time. And then they go, here is August, here is September, here's November, and then they start freaking out. I'm nowhere, or maybe I'm above what I wanted.
Mhm.
That's how you do it.
And as for the focus, on what goals should we focus on? It's the kind of the next month, for example. So our mental focus should be on achieving the goals in this month and so on, so we don't get overwhelmed with all the goals that we have during this year to achieve this big goal.
Right. You're not going to focus on 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, all at once.
Okay.
You're going to focus on your daily goal that makes your weekly goal happen, that makes your monthly goal happen. But listen, my friend, that's a very good discussion, by the way. I love the way you think. If you achieve your goal daily, that
Yes.
makes you achieve your goal weekly. Wouldn't it lead you to the success of your yearly goal?
Your daily goal.
Yeah. Every single day you achieve your goal, that makes it possible for you to achieve your weekly goal. Because now you already worked backwards and you know how much you need to achieve weekly.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then you are even more specific and you know what you need to achieve daily in order to make the weekly goal. Makes sense?
Yes, yes, it does.
And you know that if you get your weekly goals done, that will lead you eventually to the full achievement of the yearly goal.
Yes.
Yeah, and you should have goals, absolutely. You should have goals, and don't worry. See, consciously, we find it kind of difficult to hold in mind all this stuff because consciously, this is from the NLP. Well, unconsciously, we can process only, if we're lucky, by the way, only 7 plus or minus 2 chunks, yeah, of information at a time. We can process more consciously, but at the unconscious level can deal with all of this simultaneously. That's the beauty of it. But that doesn't, see, I made a mistake. When I learned NLP years and years and years ago, I thought, oh, if the unconscious mind can do all this stuff, I don't have to think of anything. I'll just let my unconscious mind do what it does because it's all powerful. No, the unconscious mind is powerful. Yes, the unconscious mind is the goal getter, and it needs to be instructed correctly. And that's our duty, our conscious mind's duty and responsibility. So, coming back to your question, you have your yearly goal. You can even do 9 months. Where do you need to be? What amount? Again, specific, measurable, achievable, all the conditions. Yeah. Then you have your 6 month. Then you have your 3 month. Then you have your month, and then you have your weekly.
Okay.
So you work backwards, and you know clearly that if you achieve your weekly goal, that will ensure without any doubt that you'll get your yearly goal and maybe beyond. Who knows?
Okay. And one small thing they just mentioned right now, I had last time I saw the session, and I had a problem with distinguishing between specific and measurable. Like how if it's specific, for example, I'm this amount of money, so it's technically measurable. What's the difference? I feel I'm missing out on something. I didn't get.
Right. So if it's about money, specific is in this very example, you can kind of put them together, specific and measurable, because if you say X amount, that's also measurable and that's also specific.
Okay.
But let me give you an example. More money, is that specific?
No.
No, it's not specific at all, because $1 more is more money.
Okay.
Right? It's more money. $1
Yes.
more is more money.
Yes.
But then you go, oh, I didn't mean this. Well, you haven't been specific. Now, measurable is, again, how do you know that you make more money? Whatever. How do you know you make $1 more? Can I measure it versus? So measurable presupposes also a comparison, isn't it?
Okay.
Same thing with losing weight, same thing with exercising and getting in shape and going to the gym and et cetera, et cetera. Here is why. Let me give you the why behind it, everybody. Because again, the conscious mind, our faculty of being able to reason and have logic in our actions, that pertains in more abstract type of thought. But the unconscious mind needs specificity. Now, let's make a parallel with computers, because this is good. If you program a very simple program, of course, I don't know nowadays anymore, but I'm old enough to remember, when computers started, and I used to do programs, and I used to even, create stuff. But the computers don't allow for ambiguity. It's very specific. It's either this path or that path. If this happens, then you do that. If that happens, then you do this. And it's the bifurcation. It's always a 1 and a 0. And now we're talking about quantum computing and other stuff, right? But in general, again, the way you use an app, it's a very specific thing. If you want to get to do the app to do that, you have to click here, and then you have to click there, and the result will be whatever you're after. You can just go, oh, I'll just press that and it will happen by magic. Kind of like this. I'm not saying your unconscious mind is a computer. That's not what I'm saying. But kind of like this, we need to think when we suggest to our, what we call the unconscious mind, this set of functions that operate unconsciously in all of us, yeah? That's how we need to work. The unconscious mind is specific. If you give it ambiguous, big picture, big umbrella stuff, it may sound very good. Yes, it may sound very good. But the unconscious mind will get it the way it will think you want it, and it may be nowhere near what you want. That's the best metaphor, my friends, to think of it. I always like to think this way. Here you are, the big brother, and you have a small brother, 6-year-old, let's say. Very smart, incredibly capable. In fact, your little brother can do stuff that you cannot do. However, from the point of view of the kid, the 6-year-old, how would you talk to the kid? Important, big sounding words and very abstract talk? No, the kid won't make any sense of it. Where a kid, you need to be specific, tell them what you want them to do, explain to them simply so they understand and they follow the instructions. That's kind of a metaphor. Now, the little kid, the little brother, or sister, that we call our unconscious mind, look at the conscious mind like this and go, wow, I'm going to listen to everything. The conscious mind is so smart. The problem is that we don't have many times the focus and the accuracy in our thoughts to suggest to our unconscious mind the correct instructions, and then we complain that we don't get what we want. And that's nobody's fault. It's not a fault of the unconscious mind. It's not a fault of the conscious mind. It's simply that we need to get trained. We need to get trained. Imagine, here's another metaphor for you. The unconscious mind, imagine you have a lake. Yeah? It's like a pond. And here is the conscious mind. And the image of the conscious mind reflects in the pond. So the unconscious mind will give and will create, in the future timeline, because we're talking about goals, everything that's projected from the conscious mind. But we cannot be sloppy in our thoughts. We cannot be sloppy in our language. We cannot be sloppy in how we formulate this. Thank you for asking that question, because it allowed me to open a little further, and hopefully this helps also.
It did. Thank you very much, Adriana.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Eve, you have a question, my friend?
No, that's all for now. Thank you.
No, Eve. I saw Eve. She had her hand up.
Oh, Eve.
Hello.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Likewise.
Okay, I have a questions about the group setting,
Okay.
group for goal setting, because I remember you did mentions about if other person they have their own goal, I need to allow them to set the goal by their own self.
Yes.
So the question is, if in the context of business, I have set a big goal, how can I get my staff, or how can I get the employees to align with my goal while they are setting their own goal?
So first of all, the presupposition is it's a business goal. You're talking about a team of people, yeah? And so I don't think it's going to be a problem if you present them with the goal, yeah? Because it's in the context of business. What I said, it's especially in the context of if you have, partners, like spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends, children. Many times parents are tempted to set goals for their children. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't. But in a team, you communicate with them their goal, and then if you ask me what I would use the negotiation process, which is a process of getting agreement. It's a language-based process. I teach this in the Master Prac in the language section. And it's a negotiation process that allows, it's a difference. See, when I say negotiation, most people think, oh, well, we know what negotiation is. It's a huddle, back and forth, back and forth. No, that's not what I mean. It's a specific process that allows people to get agreement, and that's what you want. If you ask me what else I would do, now, would it work without what I'm saying now? Most likely. If you just use the process that you learn, setting goals in the future timeline. However, if I want to make sure that I got alignment, because you said alignment, you said the word alignment, I would also do a process. Again, I'm sorry to say, but this is what I would do, yeah? It's part of the master practitioner, and it's values alignment. How do you align values in a team, in a group of people? Because, and again, you don't align their life values, you don't align their family values, you don't align their personal values. It's the values in the context of working together with that team for the achievement of a common goal. Don't get mixed up. This is not their personal values. None of your business, and none of, nobody's business what their personal values and goals are. But in the context, keep it clean, in the context of business, of working together in that team, the team has to have goals. And if everybody has the same goal, and you don't set it up for them, so you're not thinking, oh, I want so-and-so to achieve this. That doesn't work. But if you tell them the goal, you negotiate, they agree, and pray that they don't give you lip service. They really agree, right? They really agree to the goal. Then each and every one of them does the process, inserts in their personal timeline the goal, because they know that their part is extremely important. Imagine all these wheels. Okay, yeah? Have you ever seen an old type of clock that had all these, wheels interlocked like this? Yeah? So here is a wheel, stuck in interlocked with another wheel, interlocked with another wheel, and all of them working together make the clock work. Now, same thing is in any system. In a team, in a business, creates a system. And all the parts of the system contribute to the well-functioning of the system. If one of them doesn't work correctly, or is not aligned, or is not aware of the goal, then the whole system of interlocking wheels can even work poorly, or sometimes in worst cases can even come to a grinding halt, total halt. So I hope this makes sense. So when I said don't set goals for others, no, you won't set goals for others. You'll teach them, and you together set the same goal, which is your common team goal, in each and every person's timeline. Makes sense, Eve? Because everybody knows, okay, we want to achieve this. Are you okay with this? Yes. Are you okay with this? Yes. An agreement, okay, good. And then they use their individual timeline, but everybody sets the same goal. All right? Good. Good question. Did I answer it?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
My absolute pleasure, my friend. Bismillah, how are you, my friend?
Hi, Adriana. I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm talking to you guys, so I'm doing great.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure listening to you, learning from you.
Thank
You
you.
are a true mentor. Adriana, I'm not sure if this has been covered, this question, but as we follow SMART goal framework in order to make goals for our clients, sometimes it does happen that the client, when we ask that, is this goal relevant to you? And because of the societal pressures, expectations of the family, or something like that, they say, yes, it is relevant to me in order to achieve this goal. But consciously they are saying that, but unconsciously there is no alignment. So whenever we proceed with it, of course it doesn't we can't achieve the goal until unless both conscious and unconscious minds are aligned. So how as a coach I can identify that this particular goal is fully aligned with the person's values, and that's their goal? Is there any methodology that you can suggest in order to identify that this is the goal of this person, not anybody else?
Yes. First of all, when they say yes, you say, is it okay? Yes. And you say, why? Have them tell you why. Why is it important to them to achieve this goal? And then they'll say, oh, because my mother will be happy, or because my boss will be, whatever, because my partner, husband, wife, whatever, they'll be benefited, etc. That's not for them. Secondly, what is, you said, societal pressure or family pressure and all this. Many times we deal with what I called want to want, but not don't want. So I want to eat broccoli because I know it's healthy for me. I want to drink the green juice with kale and all this because it's healthy for me. But I really don't, deep down, I really don't want to drink that, and I don't want to eat the broccoli, but I want to because I know it's good. So first of all, when they give you the goal, say, why? Why do you want this? Just because I'm curious. Now, the second part of your question was, how do you know if it's in alignment with their values? Well, elicit their values. Just elicit their values in that context. Not in general, not big picture, in that very context. Now, in the Master Practitioner, we have 6 major contexts of life. But each one of these major contexts has other subsets, right? So in that very subset where the goal is relevant, elicit their values, and then you look, okay, here are the values, A, B, C, D, E, whatever, in order, and you look, here is the goal. Do they match? Or is there a mismatch between them? Right? So then that's the easiest way to figure out if they are congruent. That's in coaching. But that presupposes a different situation from Eve's question before, because that presupposes that you can do with them a breakthrough session. You can have coaching interaction directly with them, because there is more that makes people incongruent and makes people not be able to achieve what they want. An example, for instance, is, and it's so common again, people want to change things, but they don't want to change themselves. Well, if you want change, you must change, right? I mean, it's kind of logical, and they go, yeah, but they stay stuck in their position. So then of course, what do? Then you use, reframing, and you use side of mouth. And this is, by the way, if anybody listens to this and they are not trained in NLP, it's just the name of techniques that we teach in the practitioner and master practitioner, which, you pull out of your pocket and you utilize. Did I answer your question, Bismillah? Makes sense?
It does make sense. Thank you so much, Dr. Adriana.
Sure, my pleasure, absolutely. I just wanted to let you know that because see, I'm very, very truthful and loyal to what I'm here to do, because to me, the only reason why I'm here meaning on this planet, is I'm a teacher. I love to teach. I love to share what I know, and I love to see people progress. And then I say, okay, I made a difference. I made a thing. So I'm very truthful to this. So we had some meetings in the office, and I said, you know what? No, we need to help people to be able to learn what we learn. So we're having an incredible offer that we never had before, and I need to mention this because I know there are people who will listen to this recording who are not here now, and for those of you who are here, we are offering an NLP practitioner for free when people enroll in the master practitioner. So full enrollment in the master practitioner, and they get NLP for free, the practitioner for free. That's a major thing. But I want people to learn this. The situation in the world is changing so massively, and there is so much fear around that people are frozen and blocked, and that's unjustly so. Change doesn't mean something bad. Change doesn't mean, oh, I'm stuck and I don't move. I just need to learn some skills in order to mitigate that. And change, usually, if mitigated correctly, presupposes growth. And that's what I'd like to see. So for those of you who are, joining us today and are already trained, if you have people that, if you're not teaching trainings and you have people, recommend them to us. For the details, you need to talk to folks in the office, because there is a commission for this. I would love to teach all of them. We have this incredible offer. The second possibility, of course, if people want to take live NLP practitioner and master practitioner, even that we have a big discount. And we offer some also business coaching webinars free. Yes, and also we offer a way of marketing. It's a full training actually that we recorded. It's called Marketing for NLP, which is telling you, how to think about marketing NLP. Anyway, so this is what we're doing this year. I wanted to put this in, and I wanted to mention this because I think it's very important. Yeah, so that people know. Okay, Myra, how are you doing? Are you good? Are you still awake,
I'm
my
doing
friend?
good.
Oh, wow, I just have to applaud you. It's middle of the night in Louisiana and you're still here. More power to you, my friend. You're gonna, with this determination, I see you reaching really, really big goals and really reaching what you want in life. And I wish you
Thank
all
you.
that.
Thank you so much. I have one question. So you mentioned about systems, and we are talking about goals.
Mhm.
So how will you differentiate goals and systems, and what is important, setting goals and systems, or both, and how
Well,
we should go about it?
yeah, both are important. So I think that systems are very important for the well-functioning. Listen, a family is a system. You can think of everything put together, forming a system. So the basic rules of system theory apply everywhere. Take it as a metaphor. So that's first. And everything has to have a system in order to function. Otherwise, it's chaotic. It's whatever happens, right? That doesn't work. Never did, never will. Now, inside the system, you can have individuals, because a group, let's say a team, let's talk business, right? Let's say a team of people, right, together, they form a system. As I described the metaphor before, I'm thinking of this as a metaphor, interlocking wheels, right? Now, as a team, they have common goals as a team. That's in the context of that business and achieving things together. Now, each individual, when they go home, they have other goals. They have goals for their life. They have goals for their health. They have goals for their, I don't know, having vacation, having, a successful social media campaign, recognition, followers, etc., right? These are personal goals. So the systems must be in place, but they don't clash. In fact, both of them are very important. The most important thing is the awareness and the clarity inside one's mind about what one wants and what is the system they are part of, and how does the system work, and what's their role in the system. Because if a system works well, everybody feels empowered, everybody is successful. If one wheel in the whole interlocking chain of wheels doesn't work well, everybody suffers. And again, a very simple example, you have somebody in the family that has a, by the way, this is not a suggestion, all of you listening, you're all healthy, all your family members are healthy, you're in perfect health and good. So I don't want this to be as a suggestion. But when it happens in families that one member of the family is ill with something, everybody in the family suffers. Everybody feels let me be more precise, speaking of words. Everybody in the family feels the effect of that member of the family not being well. So that's how a systems it's affected. Yeah. Now, and treat this as a metaphor, by the way, because this is what it is, but it represents the point. Again, goals, they're common goals, team goals, business goals, company goals, family goals, individual goals, and they don't have to clash with each other. In fact, if they clash, that's a problem. It affects, again, the system. So that's how these two work together. Yeah, did I answer your question, my friend?
Yes. Yeah, makes sense.
Good.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, here is my question to you. What would you like me to do as, as we did this goal setting? What topic will help you if I do more of this, either pre-recorded or live chats with you guys? Give me some ideas. Type them in the chat, please, if you have some. Yeah, I mean, we can talk about, how to overcome self-doubts, for instance. Would that be useful? No? Yes? Okay, yes. Okay, good. Because if you guys don't answer, I don't know. Because I'd like to do what serves you, what you are interested in, not what I think you should do. So if you have ideas, let us know. Type in the chat now, or let us know in time. Send us, text or messages, and then I'll do what interests you, what's important to you. That's the most thing. So since we wanna kind of wrap it up, a little bit, I just wanna ask you, for those of you who are here, what's your biggest takeaway from today? Come on, share with me.
So my biggest takeaway from this is, like when you said that, like we cannot be sloppy in our language and in our thoughts, because, whatever is going on in our conscious mind is going to, ultimately, like reflect in our unconscious mind is going to absorb that. So we need to be very cautious, and as it is, negative talking to yourself is not good, even for health wise. That has it has been, proven research wise. So that's my biggest takeaway. And yeah, like when you took the example on my goal, so that made a lot of sense for me, about the want stuff, and that how, like it shouldn't be limiting ourselves, so like language, matters a lot, and how we speak to ourselves, that matters so much, that like it has, words have power, and yeah, I live in US and I know that better, like, how it could like change so much. So yeah. So we need to be very careful, and yeah.
Perfect understanding. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And great, great, great. So I really appreciate it. It's that, when you give me this feedback, my friend, it makes me feel good because I said, okay, I made sense. Good job, Myra. Good job, everybody. Okay, my friends, here is the deal. We're kind of gonna wrap up. We need to let Myra sleep. And everybody else carry on, whether you're in the morning or in the afternoon, carry on with the rest of your day. Thank you for participating. Let me know in the future, please, what topics would you be interested in? What specific things I can help you with? Then I can do talks on this and share with you my best thoughts. As always, I give you all my best thinking, and everything I know I share, so you can be successful and you can achieve your goals. All right? Perfect. Thank you for participating. All my love to all of you. Take good care, and I'm going to say goodbye for now. Be well, my friends.